Morning folks, Kevin here. Well, it's August 8th, 2025, day 3 of Septic mini-series. Oh Lord, hopefully things work out today. So just to recap, day before yesterday I started excavating out the area, found the area where the distribution box was, and when I pulled that off, I broke the concrete just broke down over time over the last 40 years. And I figured out, at least I believe I figured out what's actually happened. I'll walk around here. Got Elon out here, the excavator. Such a handy tool. Oh my goodness. So I believe what ended up happening, I suspected that the roots from one of the trees, mainly this big beautiful maple here, was the culprit. And indeed, lots of roots wrapped around in here. What appears to be the problem is the cast iron, the elbow that drains that 1,000-gallon tank there, has just completely corroded over. No roots in there at all. Where I suspected there was roots in there, or roots along the line going to the distribution box, but that distribution box has got to come out of there. I exposed the pipes there yesterday, day 2 of the mini-series, and what else did I do yesterday? Well, there's so much root material. Here's an example of some of the root material here, and I hope to God this maple is going to be okay. I love this maple tree. Such a beautiful tree. But I did tear a lot of roots out here, and so in the piles there were tons of roots. And I gotta say that that rock bucket came in extremely handy, because I came over here, I didn't get it all done, and I just sort of used the rock bucket, picked up the soil, shook it like crazy using the hydraulic over hydraulic function for the bucket, which made the bucket shake like heck. And the soil came out, and now there's still some in here, but I didn't get to all of it. But this, it brought out, I was able to extract a lot of roots and a lot of rocks that was in the material that was excavated out of there. Now I don't have room in here to really move around too much, but my thought is John will come this morning, and he has his septic. Besides having an excavation business, he has a pumping service as well to pump out septic tanks, as well as other different tanks for the municipal and other businesses. And so he's got a tank to pump this morning. He'll go and pump that, then come over here. We'll pump out both of these tanks, get them empty. So I've got to open up the ports there. So there's a couple of, you always want to see if you can expose on the tops of the tanks. You have little ports that you can get into for pumping the tanks out. So it's always important to know where your septic tanks are, where the ports are. And what I usually do is I put blocks right around it, because there's a lot of dirt there. Instead of trying to find it, as soon as I find those pavers, then I know right about where the ports are. I got one more port over there to uncover, so I'll do that in a couple of minutes. But after John pumps these tanks, he'll look at the plumbing here and say, okay, we need to knock this out, we need to get these pieces of plumbing here. I've got one 10-foot section of the Schedule 40 PVC, but we'll see what John says when he gets here. And the goal is cutting those pipes off wherever he says we got to cut them off. We'll sort of see what he comes up with a distribution box. We'll probably get a PVC one, like a plastic distribution box to replace this with, and then reconnect these leach field lines back to it. Then connect our lines here after we knock out the ports here. So that's the plan. We'll have to see just how things work. But my thought is, right around the base of them, instead of putting this dirt in, I'll take some of the sand that I excavated from the new pond last year that I dug. and it's really nice. It's a fine sand, but at least if I ever have to dig these areas out again, I just soon have some nice easy sand to be able to easily shovel out, which won't have the rocks and other materials in it. Then I'll use this material here to go back over as well, over the surface of it. So that's the plan. Fingers crossed, a couple prayers, whatever we could do to make this happen, and our septic tank blues will be over with. So much for the song. Here we go. Okay, so I just got done exposing the clean out ports. So these are casted concrete with a little rebar or metal rod in them, so we can hook a hook onto, pull these up. Here's another one. It makes it easier when I use small. These are some pavers here. Sometimes I'll put insulation if it's like this one's a deeper one. So I use some insulation board here to put on top of it, and I put the blocks on top, or the pavers on top of that, so I don't have to dig down too far to locate where the clean out ports are. And of course the vents always help to identify where your tanks are as well. So that's a 600 gallon round tank. This is a 1,000 gallon tank here, so it's a rectangular shaped one. So we got the clean out ports ready to go. So we'll be able to go ahead and pump these tanks out, get it evacuated. I'll clean up some of the extra debris here, bring Elon in over here and scoop out a little more over here. We'll see what John says as far as things. I'll probably pull that piece of pipe out now too. Yeah, might as well pull, well, I'll let John see the angle of it, but he'll be able to figure it out. So, okay, bit by bit. No more smells coming up in the near future.
And anywhere we hold around, as I know this time we're stars who own, then I love them out there. Every Danny's what you, but quit it on the crawler, let the old things go, with this race to new dreams, watching our skin red go, time to let it all soul. Nights and falls upon a race the sky. We're gonna raise the sky.
too many YouTubers record this for you, huh?
Everybody tells me, oh, I'm going to put you on YouTube, but I never do. 40 years ago, we dug that hole in the ground. Septic tank went in, best system around. But lately it's gurgling, it's backing up slow. My toilet's complaining, it's stealing the show. Oh, the septic tank blues, they're clogging my soul. When the pipes start to grumble, I'm losing control. Gotta prune those old maples, their roots are to blame. Get this system a-flowing or I'll go insane. Branches so fine, but their roots snuck on down across that septic line. Now the tank's throwing tantrums, it's a stinky disgrace. I'm dodging the backup in my own living space. Oh, the septic tank blues, they're clogging my soul. When the pipes start to grumble, I'm losing control. Gotta prune those old maples, their roots are to blame. Get this system a-flowing or I'll go insane. There's nothing more sacred than a flush that's on cue. A throne that works right, man, it's better than new. But when nature's calling and the tank says no way, I'm out with my shovel, cursing roots all the day. So I'm grabbing my saw, gonna hack at them trees. Tell the maples back off, let my septic breathe, please. 40 years of good service, it's time for a fix. Gotta keep that flush flowing or I'm in a real mix. Oh, the septic tank blues, they're clogging my soul. When the pipes start to grumble, I'm losing control. Gotta prune those old maples, their roots are to blame. Get this system a-flowing or I'll go insane. To my septic, may it run clear and free. No more gurgles or backups to trouble old me. With my toilet a-flushing, I'll sing this refrain. The septic tank blues, man, they're down the drain.
Okay, John and Ben just left and very successfully pumped out the two tanks. So we have the other end of this tank still open right now. So we could see that's the cast iron component. You could see it's just broken down. And you may be able to see way down in there, the tank is pretty much empty. And well, let me just explain something here the way John explained it to me. Turn off this darn flashlight. So when the waste goes into the black water, the toilet materials go into the 1,000-gallon tank here, and what happens is it's an anaerobic process. The bacteria inside of the tank breaks down the materials, all of the solids, and over time the effluent, the the liquid part, after the anaerobic bacteria have completed the process, it flows to the top, and that's where that cast iron elbow is, where it would drain out into the leach field. Well, with that being plugged up because of the I don't know, it may be because of the pH of it or the water with the cast iron, eventually it got plugged up, and I guess this happens at about 40 years. They learned this over time, so we're going to go to PVC in there instead. But the important thing to remember is that inside of the septic tank itself, it's an anaerobic process in the absence of oxygen. So those bacteria thrive in that environment, and we got to be real careful of anything that we put into our flush down our toilets or put down our drains, because that's going to affect the microbial community in that environment. So here, anaerobic in the absence of oxygen, and they break down all of the solids, and eventually the solids tend to sink. Now there'll be a crust on the top and there'll be sludge on the bottom, and John went through and broke up the crust on the top and pumped out all of the sludge on the bottom as well, and then cleaned out the tank. There's a flushing process he went through as well. But under normal circumstances, once that effluent, the liquid part without the solids in it, gets to the top, it goes out into the leach field. In the leach field, we have a different environment. We switch from an anaerobic environment where those organisms can no longer survive into an aerobic environment. So the soil microorganisms are aerobic in the presence of oxygen, and they further break down those materials and turn them into nutrients, beautiful nutrients that are good for the environment. And that cleans the water before it goes back into the water table and all. So it's a very good, natural, efficient system that works. The problem is with these old concrete tanks, we got cast iron there, and they can get plugged up over time. So the next step here will be to come back, knock out the cast iron elbow there. He'll pick up a distribution box there. We'll cut off some of the PVC pipe there and dig out that distribution box, fit things in, and reroute things somewhat. So that's the plan. So the first phase, digging this whole thing out and then pumping out the tanks. Now it's the repair of the exit, the effluent area on the tank, and then going to the replacing the distribution box, and the leach fields look perfect. So on to the next part of this day. John's going to pick up the distribution tank, pick up some PVC pipe. I dug up one of my Schedule 40 PVC pipes there, so need a couple more pieces and we should be good. Here we go.
I didn't always know where I was headed. As a kid, they called me a troublemaker. Not smart, just a dreamer, chasing things they couldn't see. They didn't see the way my mind worked, how it wandered toward purpose, even when I didn't have the words yet. I was restless, wild even, but not lost, just trying to find soil where I could grow. I didn't fit in their boxes, didn't walk the straight lines they laid out for me, and for a while I wondered if they were right. But time taught me different. I learned how to work with my hands, how to listen to the land, how to build something lasting, a life made of effort, sweat, mistakes, and the kind of joy that comes from doing things your way. There were storms, real ones, and the kind that come crashing inside your chest. But I weather them with the you by my side, with faith in my back pocket and a stubborn streak that said this story isn't over. Now I see change not as something to fear, but as something I've walked through again and again. From the city to the country, from punching clocks to planting trees, from being dismissed to being someone others come to for wisdom. I've watched this world shift, seen the old ways crumble and the new ones rise, sometimes for better, sometimes not. But I don't fight it anymore, I face the strange, because strange is where growth lies. And though time keeps moving faster now it seems, I still can't trace it, I can only live it fully. In the soil, in the seasons, in the quiet pride of building a life that matters. There's a fire in the distance, flickering low, a whisper in the darkness where the brave hearts go. And I've walked through the silence, burdened and torn, but I still hear a voice crying out to be more. Though the road may be long and the night may be cold, there's a truth in my chest I refuse to let go. If I still believe in the power of one, in the strength to rise when the hurting's not done, if I can dream of a world can heal, where love leads the way and the hope becomes real, then I'll give it my all. I won't turn away, 'cause I wasn't made just to fade into gray. If I still believe, then I still must try. Let me live for that dream, or let me die. There are voices behind me saying settle for less, but I was born for the climb, not the comfort of rest. Let the doubters fall silent, let the shadows grow still. I've got mountains to move and a fire to fill. I may stumble and fall, I may break on the climb, but I'll rise with my scars, 'cause the dream's still mine. If I still believe in a purpose that's true, in the strength to build what's been broken into, if I can see through the dark with a soul that won't yield, then I'll carry that light like a sword and a shield. Yes, I'll give it my all. I won't live halfway, 'cause I wasn't made just to trade day by day. I still believe, then I still must try. Let me live for that dream, or let me die. Even if no one else stands beside me, even if silence is all I can hear, I will speak with my hands, with my heart, with my soul, and I'll make that dream loud and clear. If I still believe, if there's breath in my chest, I will run toward the fire, I will give it my best. If I can dream of a world where we rise from the fall, then I'll stand for that dream till I've given it all. So I give it my all, come joy or come pain. I was born for the fight, not to live life in vain. If I still believe, then I still must try. Let me live for that dream, or let me die.
Well, we had lunch. Everything's all set. The boys finished up just at lunchtime. So thank you very much to John. He's the father, who was the son years ago when this septic system was first put in. Luke, his dad, put this in back in 83 or 84, I think it was. And thank goodness we got his son here as well, and his boys, Josh and Ben. Ben was the first one here, then Josh showed up. So things worked out pretty well. So what am I going to do next? So we got some sand deposited in here, and the boys sort of like fitted it around each of the pipes. So we have the diagonal, not quite 45 degrees angle going over into the distribution box over there. So this is the 1,000-gallon system. This is a 600-gallon system. This is the gray water. That's the black water there. So I just went through again and measured. Really important to do this. So I measured where the access port is right here from the edge of this concrete and from that block wall. I measured from the concrete edge and from this block wall here and that block wall to this access port here. It's just real beneficial to know exactly where everything is. Get yourself landmarks. Same thing, I measured this access port here from this block wall and from that block wall. And I measured the distribution box, the dimensions of it, and all from this block wall. Oh, dang it, Kevin. Go ahead, camera. This block wall and the block wall over there. So I know approximately where everything is. So the next thing I'm going to do, since we have some sand in here, I'm going to go ahead and shovel some sand around the distribution box. Then I'll put some blocks around it, some of the pavers, you know, just to help support, because this is not a very heavy plastic distribution box. It'll probably be fine, but I'm anal retentive, and this is several inches below the height of the concrete pad here. So we're down over a foot deeper, and I always want to be able to get to it. So by putting blocks around the outside of it, after I get some more sand around it, then I'll put 3.5-inch blue dowelboard insulation on top of that. Then I'll put some of the pavers on top of that. That way when I'm digging around trying to find this, it'll be closer to the surface. I'll know just where it is, and I won't have to be digging up a whole big area and all. So this is the distribution box here. Pretty interesting. One thing I learned, so John went ahead and put water in here right after after getting everything. So everything's level. It's got the right pitch to it for the drainage lines to come down here and into here. But these are called speed levels. This is something I hadn't heard before. And his dad had just cut holes in PVC caps before. And these speed levels are meant to, as the effluent comes into here from these septic tanks and gets into this tank, it's so that each one of the leach field ports will all take equal amounts at the same time. Pretty cool. I think that's really good, as opposed to this one getting filled up, then this one, and so on and so forth. Really cool. So I learned something new today, and that's secure. So I'll dig up some, transport some more sand around here, set some pavers, put the insulation on top of it, put pavers on top of this. These ones are pretty close to the surface on this 1,000-gallon tank, so I'll just put pavers right around the perimeter, each one of these access ports. This one's sets a little bit lower, so I'll put the insulation around this one, then put pavers on top of that. That way, when I dig down with the shovel, I can find just where the access ports are, so when it has to be pumped out. All right. Then I'll move probably one more load of sand in here before moving, or 2 loads. Probably 2 loads before I start moving some of that dirt over in here into the area. So that's the plan. Let's see how well things go.
Woke up with a list and a fire in my chest. Hope today would run smoother than the rest. But the truck's delayed and the parts are wrong, and the silence on the claim's been dragging too long. I'm not asking for perfect, just a little fair play. Some truth, some effort, and less in my way. I want more done by the end of the day. I want straight answers, not a roundabout way. I want the box to come unbroken on time. I want folks to mean it when they say they'll try. And maybe I want too much, or so it might seem. So I take a deep breath right after the scream, and I let it go. I'm tired of chasing shadows just to find a wall, of waiting on people who don't show up at all. Still I suit up and show up just like I do, trying to hold my word when others won't follow through. It's not about perfect, just a little respect, a call back, a handshake, a little cause and effect. I want more done by the end of the day. I want straight answers, not a roundabout way. I want the wheels to turn when I give them a shove. I want honesty, not just talk dressed as love. And maybe I want too much, or so it might seem. So I take a deep breath right after the scream, and I let it go. 'Cause holding on too tight just wears you thin, and shouting at the wind never pulls it in. So I lean into the work and I try again. Let the silence teach me where I've been.
with a steady hand. And maybe I want too much, or so it might seem. So I take a deep breath right after the scream, and I let it go. Yeah, I take a deep breath right after the scream, and I let it go. Then I get back to the dream.
Well, the excavation site where the septic systems and distribution section are, this whole area is filled back in. I'm going to let it have a day or two to settle. I'll rake it out later on, and I will do some other. I got lots of picking up to do here as well, and I'll tell you, yesterday I used the rock rake with the Hulk and shook the heck out of it and all. Man, it took so many roots out of there, so many big rocks out of there too. Now this I wasn't able to get to, and a little bit of the last stuff I put over there I wasn't able to get to, so there were some roots in that. But this is going down into another place. I'll bring this down probably tomorrow, and the soil has really built up since I poured these cement pads, so it's above this level. So I'll end up doing some superficial excavation in this area as well. But I think I'll let some of this settle some. Real happy, considering how bony our ground is around here, to have the sand to be able to put around those. You know, I think that'll have a nice even distribution and distribute the weight of the mower or anything else that I have to drive over here in the future, because when I'm working on the house I'll be driving over these areas. So hopefully this will all work out okay, and I'll do more cleanup around the margins on the concrete later on as well. Rake up the rocks, get those in a bucket, get those down to the area that we're filling in over by the large beaver pond. And some of this dirt here I'll move down and back, not too far from where the shipping containers are, distributed out there. Then pick out the rocks and the roots with a rock bucket down there. So that'll work out. Bit by bit we're making progress. Real happy things worked out today. Thank you, John, the boys, Ben and Josh. Really appreciate you guys coming over on such a beautiful day and working on this site here. Really appreciate it a lot. And so I think that's about it for today's video, folks. I'm plumb tuckered. Got to put some tools away and all, close some things up, and call it a day. So I hope you folks stay safe and take care. Really appreciate you hanging with us. Bye bye now.